Hi, we will be with you shortly, but I understand weight loss is one of the reasons you are here today. We will discuss this in detail very shortly, but here are some talking points that will get us started. That way we can make the most of our visit. I'm assuming you've tried dieting. Weight loss is frustrating, and no, it isn't as simple as calories in versus calories out. Sure, chemically and thermodynamically this is true, but this approach fails to address the machine sitting between our ears. If that approach worked, then there would be less obesity. Moreover, the recent addition of the magic shots have pretty much proven that it isn't that simple. But we must stress that some control over some intake of food has to be observed. Let's first start with first-line therapy when it comes to medication-assisted weight loss options. When it comes to medications, there are three main stimulant appetite suppressants. We recommend taking these when you wake up. Do not attempt to take them close to bedtime. We will write a prescription for 30 days at a time. We must see you monthly for a weigh-in. If we go 3 months with no weight loss, that means we need to cycle off of them momentarily. The downside to all of them is the side effect profiles. Many people will experience insomnia, heart palpitations, a higher heart rate, and increased blood pressure. You may also feel jittery. Let's talk about the appetite suppressants in detail. The first one we'll talk about is Adipex, or Phentermine. This is the most common. It's also probably the strongest. People do relatively well with this drug. Statistically, you will probably lose some weight with its use. Of the three, side effects are seen most commonly with this one. The second one is Bontril, or phendimetrazine. This is the Goldilocks choice. It's middle of the road and provides good appetite control with fewer side effects, but it's not as strong as Adipex. Tenuate, or Bupropion, is the gentlest. It's not quite as strong, but less likely to cause side effects. There are some off-label uses of some other medications and combinations of others that we can consider with varying effects. An example is Contrave. This is a combination of medications, Naltrexone and Bupropion. The idea is to reduce cravings of food neurologically. Understand this is a different approach to the stimulants. Side effects are usually minimal with this one. The worst part about this one is it may not work, but it's usually affordable. There's another combination of medications, Phentermine and Topiramate. The brand name is called Qsymia. It combines the benefits of a food craving reducer and a stimulant. Results are modest. Downside is cost. There are some compounding pharmacies that make various formulations of this drug at a reduced cost. Let's talk about the weight loss shots. They work, and they're possibly the most amazing weight loss modality we've seen. They're called GLP-1 agonist. They reduce the hormones that make us hungry as well as slow the rate at which food leaves our stomach. Have you ever been eating with someone fit and maybe never struggled with weight before, magically just stop eating? What is that? Really? There's a message from their stomach to their brain that they were full? The best way I can describe them is it's kind of like chemically induced gastric bypass surgery. Here are the basics. There are 2 contraindications: a personal or family history of medullary thyroid cancer and a history of pancreatitis. If this applies to you, we cannot prescribe these drugs for you. There are 2. Semaglutide, also known or sold under the brand name Wegovy and Ozempic, and tirzepatide, also sold under the brand names of Mounjaro and Zepbound. We start at the lowest dose because these drugs have a 4-day half-life. Once you inject it under your skin, it's yours. There's no going back. Both are injected once weekly, and no, the needles do not hurt. The first thing to notice is your stomach and brain will start talking to each other. It's very strange. You will not want food. You will become full very quickly. You will notice your appetite coming back the closer you get to your shot day, which may be an indicator to go up on the dose. So what are the downsides? Well, they're expensive. You may wonder if your insurance pays for them. At this point, probably not. An exception to this is if you have been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. But don't get discouraged. This is getting better, and it is predicted that the pill versions will be out very soon. We do ask that you call your insurance to see if it is covered. This will cut down substantially on paperwork for us. There are alternatives where compounding pharmacies are making generic versions of the drugs. The cost ranges from $150 to $400 depending on the dose and the drug. At Harmony, we do not sell these drugs. We consult, prescribe, and monitor. I can assure you our approach is the most affordable because we are not the middleman like other clinics around. It is very important that you do not attempt to consume less than 1,200 calories per day. Make sure you consume enough water too. Your aversion to consuming anything by mouth, including fluids, will only increase. Many ask, will I be on this forever? My answer is pretty simple. Yes. So what? People take blood pressure drugs forever? Do people with diabetes just simply stop taking Ozempic? No. It is important to remember that obesity is a chronic problem. Chronic means forever or long term. Currently, there are no guidelines for when people reach a maintenance weight. Commonly, some people will simply take a shot every other week or every 10 days. Reducing the dose doesn't seem to work, but it can be tried. Here are some final thoughts I have about weight loss. Think about your relationship with food and be honest with yourself. When do you eat? Why do you eat? When was the last time you pulled into a fast food restaurant or a local drive-in mad, sad, anxious, afraid, or in your feelings? Knowing where these potholes of our thinking is can be crucial to long-term success. Foodaholism is not that different from alcoholism. The same mechanism is there, and it pushes many of us into the powerless habits of eating and an unmanageable position of weight control. To be successful, you must conquer this relationship and achieve a sobriety of bad habits that lead to overeating. At Harmony Health, we are committed to your success, and we are excited to start this journey with you. Shortly, we will discuss crafting a custom plan for you for success. We will be with you momentarily to answer any questions or concerns you may have.